But our first release comes from A Perfect Circle, Eat the Elephant. Now, I'm not going to complain about Tool and how a new Tool album should have happened before a new Perfect Circle album. In fact, I'm a little bit more of a fan of A Perfect Circle than I am Tool. Weird, strange, I know, but we all have our differences, right? This is a much lighter, popular rock sound with a sugar coating of progressive metal elements in place. And I know when I say it's more poppy, that's why I said popular rock sound instead of poppy, because when people say something sounds poppier, people tend to get offended. But it definitely is more catchy and rhythmic in a sense that it follows a pop formula. And then it kind of breaks off of that pop formula when it becomes more progressive. Sorry. This is going to sound strange to a lot of folks, but it reminds me of the new 30 Seconds to Mars album in the sense that if a band like 30 Seconds to Mars made a dramatic, positive evolution in their music, it would sound more like this album than the trash that 30 Seconds to Mars recently put out. What I'm basically trying to say is becoming popular isn't always a bad thing, especially if it's done right. And I feel like Eat the Elephant by A Perfect Circle is progressing, is a positive evolution while becoming just a bit more poppy. What can I say, right? Many catchy hooks and great lyricism. In fact, I'm a big fan of Maynard's lyrics in this album. And I know there's a lot of like politics and socio-politics involved in the album, but he doesn't really stray towards one bias over the other. He states his opinion, and he's so free-flowing with it. I think it really works out. This is such a unique album across all 12 tracks. Every song sounds completely different from the next. But then again, it doesn't sound like A Perfect Circle. And once again, let me explain. Songs like The Doomed, when it was first released, sounded like a track from Pussifer, while a track like Get the Let Out almost feels like it has more in common with a Tool album. And people might disagree with me, but that's just my opinion. There's a lot in this album that is unique, that is outstanding, but also strays away from the typical A Perfect Circle album song. You know, you could go back and listen to the 13th Step and then come back and listen to Eat the Elephant and have trouble recognizing the similarities as opposed to the differences between A Perfect Circle then and A Perfect Circle now. It's a strange album, which isn't bad. I read that, forgive me, Howard Dell of Ashes Divide worked on a majority of the instruments throughout this release, in close relations to Keenan's vision and content. I think it meshes together really well, and you can see why this album sounds so different from any other Perfect Circle release, and I think it has a lot to do with Howard Dell. Furthermore, it's a standout album in the sense that it utilizes a splendor of genres throughout and doesn't necessarily stick to one particular sound or genre. If you're a fan, this album will probably have to grow on you after your first listen, but I guarantee after it grows on you, you'll be listening to it again and again and time after again.